Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of the Lies They Tell podcast. For all of my returning viewers, I hope you're doing well. I hope you and yours are in good health, good spirits. I hope you're protecting your mind, your body, your heart, right? And for all of my first time viewers, please be sure to like, follow, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know that every time I drop new content. This is the Lies They Tell podcast, episode 16. Um, this is something that I had a conversation right with my cousin a couple weeks back, and through conversation it came up that in China somewhere, uh they found a giant sinkhole in China somewhere, right? And apparently this sinkhole is so deep that if you were to take, the St. Louis Arch and you were to flip it upside down, the entire thing could fit into this hole. It's like 600 something miles maybe deep. I could be completely making that up. I think the deepest hole ever dug was like 2 miles, but you get what I'm saying. It's like really, really deep. And apparently there are these giant ancient forests literally in there. So you know, I know I'm kind of saying a lot to paint that picture, but this is a pretty big deal, right? Because I don't remember the last time that I've heard of, apart from some ancient skeletons, some archaeological digs or stuff like that, but I don't remember ever hearing anything like this, like ever. Like there's a giant forest under our feet, which is very plausible. Um, my question is this though, as far as discoveries go, you know you have people in our history, you know, your Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, Marco Polo, just to name a couple, right? Or three. And then even further back, names that I'm not mentioning, people like for hundreds of thousands of years, humanity has been able to enjoy the freedom to get up and just walk the earth by land or by boat, to get on a boat and just travel the world's oceans. You know, a lot of the a lot of great discoveries and human, furtherance has been achieved through that. People have been able to find new lands, explore new things, creates new generations, new races of people based on where you are geographically. And that has all come to a screeching halt, and it's pretty obvious, right? Like what happened with land is that the land that we do know about, you have different countries, different governments or whatever that lay claim to these lands, and so therefore, because of due to borders, you can't just venture wherever you want. Same with the ocean, right? Some of these same countries also lay claim to the oceans there. I want to know how though. Like I know it sounds crazy thinking about this, and I know I may even come off as crazy for even asking this, but how did we give up the right as human beings who come from this earth to be able to search God's land, to search God's ocean, to explore, to discover, without having to be pulled over by a navy or some sort of like whatever, because or like what I mean, armed forces, because you're venturing too close into someone's border. Like I once again, I know this sounds crazy, but we can't possibly believe that every single thing is told to us and is going to be given to us. Like we're made to believe that humans have become so technologically advanced that we're able to leave Earth and go to the moon. But in the same breath, 85, what is it, 85, 90% of the world's ocean is undiscovered because we don't have the technological capability to go any deeper into the ocean than we've already gone. It's too dense. The deepest hole ever dug, as I mentioned before, uh, was about 2 miles, if I'm not mistaken. couldn't go no further, got too hot. So we don't have the technological capability to really search what's in our planet, but we have the technological capability to lead the entire planet. I know those are two different things as it comes to when it comes down to science and physics and all of that, but it's still a little far fetched to me, right? Somali people, we say, I don't know, you guys know I don't know Somali like that, but I know Somali, alhamdulillah. But my point is that so just denied myself and then just like try to fight it. My point is there is a proverb in Somali, which they call, nal gurigaada kubahan guri kale ha ku dirin, or something like that, right? It's like if your home needs light or a lamp, don't go out to the store, buy a lamp, and put it in somebody else's house. Like it means first figure out what's going on here at home. And I think that's basic common knowledge and that's common sense because you can't possibly help anyone if you can't help yourself. These are, it may not be Sir Isaac Newton's, laws of gravity or something like that, but it is still very, very important law in life. So now we have NASA, we have these other very great, scientific communities that have achieved a lot of great things, but we have become so dependent upon them that we really don't know what's what. Like I remember there was a movie that came out a while back about maps, like literally atlas, like maps, and how certain countries or continents throughout time have gotten smaller on the map and some of them have gotten bigger. It's not there was a movie about that, and it's actual facts that we literally, you roll out this map in front of me, and every single person who has at least some level of education will look at that map and start to understand I'm looking at the earth. But how do you know if you're unable to explore? I feel like, technological advancements have taken a lot from us. And yes, I'm recording through my phone right now. I'm speaking through a mic. I have a laptop in front of me, TV behind me, another screen in front of me. Yes, I'm not, I'm not one of these people who is trying to say, you know, reject technology. What I'm trying to say is we should still be able to enjoy, you know, things that we had prior to that. It shouldn't mean that, exploration and going out to find different things and being in search of what this, life holds, this earth holds. Like, for example, Musa alayhi salam, Moses, literally found, he was able to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's able to speak to God because he was traveling. He was just walking the land and he saw a fire and he said, let me go check out what that is. Do you understand, you know, or am I thinking too deep into it? Like Ibrahim alayhi salam, was traveling when they found the well of Zamzam. They were exploring. They were moving from one place to another. Yes, granted, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already had, their fates already entangled with those, situations. But there also wasn't a lock on that door to tell them they couldn't do that. So who are we? Where have we gone? I don't know. I think, that's kind of all I wanted to vent about. And, you know, I think that we something has to change because things are not looking good when we as humans who have no more rights to this land than we do are told, or just, and not even in that sense, right? Because you have animals, you have trees, you have plants, you have life out there outside of humanity. So I didn't mean that we own it more than anyone else, but just to say, like, we own it just as much as the animals own it, and just as much as tree. Like, so there's nobody that should be able to tell, you know. One more thing. There was a video that I watched of these guys on a boat, and they're like fishermen, and they kind of ventured too far to uh, 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 from where they were in the ocean. And they were met by a Navy ship, some country's Navy ship, and they were like, yo, you got to turn around. You can't be over here. For security purposes, I'm sure. But these are fishermen, and they're unable to just get on a boat and just go. That's crazy to me. This has been another episode of the Lazy Tale podcast. I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you so much for supporting, guys. Make sure you go out and you check out episode 15. This has been episode 16. I'm not sure what I'm gonna title it yet, and as you can tell, this is all just kind of like on the spot. Let me just vent to you guys. You know what I mean? So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.